A few days ago now, I asked on the community tab here on YouTube if you guys had any questions that you wanted me to answer, and someone asked, how are your stinky potatoes? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan and I'm the owner of a small business called Fauna. I mostly make and sell scrunchies and macrame, but I do a range of different accessories, some fun bits of decor, different things like that. I've vlogged the whole process and the behind the scenes of running a small business and just the ins and outs of being a small business owner, and I pop it all on YouTube for you all to see. But today's video is going to be a little bit different, so if you're not interested in this sort of stuff, I completely get it. You don't have to watch it, that's fine. But this is just for those of you who have been asking and are regular viewers and subscribers. But in today's video, we're going to be doing a Q&A and a bit of like a life update and stuff like that. I am currently in my living room, so I do have the cats crawling all over me and running about, so I'm sorry if that's a little bit distracting, but we're just going to have a cozy catch up, a nice chill chat and stuff. So grab yourself a bevy, a snack, anything, get all cozy, and let's just have a nice chilled chat. If you're new here, this is Koshka. This is one of our supervisors. We have 2 supervisors and a manager. We've got Koshka, Cleo and Luna, so they may be making a bit of an appearance throughout this video. But like I said, someone very kindly asked me, how are your stinky potatoes? It is my eggies that person is referring to, which is my 2 Sphinx cats, Cleo and Koshka. And someone else did ask if I could give an update on the cats, and a bunch of you have been messaging me and emailing me and leaving really super kind comments on some of the recent uploads and stuff. So I thought this would be like a perfect opportunity to answer those questions. So if you are new here, or if you weren't aware of this, but I tend to upload my vlogs in chronological order because to me that makes the most sense. And this was the last video I posted. Only a couple days later, I ended up really hurting my back, which wasn't great in the slightest. And for those of you that haven't seen the fun life update video where I did briefly explain about the situation and what was going on, around that same time, one of my babies unfortunately needed surgery and a lot of vet attention, and it was a really rough time. My other half, Alex, who is a huge important factor in the Fauna business, he is one of the main reasons that I can do this. The cats are going absolutely mad. So he became like the full-time carer for me and Cleo because he had to take her for all her vet appointments and stuff because I couldn't even sit up, I couldn't move, which wasn't great. And we did unfortunately have a very rough time with Cleo. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can go and watch this video if you want, but just a heads up, it's me giving a similar video to this, like a life update where I'm just crying my eyes out because she is my world. They all are. But long story short, Cleo had to have multiple eye surgeries. She got rushed in for a procedure. While she was healing, she got rushed in for another emergency procedure. There was a lot of vet appointments, a lot of surgeries, a lot of care, and even though it was a very difficult time, she is obviously worth it in my opinion. And I just want to say, because I don't think I've actually said thank you, but the comments that I received on that video were so kind. So guys, thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to say that she's doing very well. She's absolutely amazing. Yes, we're talking about you. Come here. It's bath day for you guys, so they're not going to be very happy with me soon. She just knocked my mic off, but as you just saw from that very short clip, she's doing great. But as we are in a project house and it's chaos and there's not a great deal of safe spaces for these guys, we obviously had to keep her separate from the other cats. The only room that was like done and safe in the house is my office. We turned Fauna Rose HQ into a hospital and recovery den for both Cleo and I did mention this all in the other video, which meant I couldn't use my studio and I was out of practice as well because I was hurt. But throughout those months, you guys were incredible and you still showed up, you still placed your orders here and there. So I'm going to pop a few clips that I did take whenever I could throughout those couple of months where I was passing up your orders where and when I could. So a massive thank you to every single one of you who placed an order throughout that time. A massive thank you to those of you who watched the videos, because this is a huge part of the Fauna Rose business, YouTube and stuff. It's one of my income streams as well as something I absolutely love to do, and it is something that helps get the word out there about my business. So a huge thank you for all your support in that way as well. And an even bigger thank you to those of you who did find my Buy Me a Coffee page and donated on there to help towards Cleo and her vet bills and things like that. I would never expect any of you to do that, and I'm still like, oh my word, blown away that people did do that. And I also feel really guilty. So guys, thank you so much. A few of you did ask if you could donate to like a GoFundMe page and things like that, but it's not your responsibility to pay my vet bills, even though that is so kind and I'm so blown away. I do really appreciate appreciate that, honestly, but I would never ask that of you guys. But just watching the channel and the videos is more than enough, and I can't thank you guys enough. Some of you even bought the guys some things off the Amazon wish list that Alex and I have, treated them to their favourite food, their favourite treats and stuff. Guys, thank you. I can't believe it is only a small community, but this community that has come from this channel and stuff is insane and so supportive. So guys, thank you so much. But in a nutshell, Cleo had to have something removed and scraped out from her eye. It was really deep, and if it was left any longer, she probably would have lost her eye. That was then repaired. She had a surgical graft put in, but then there was a few complications with the healing process, so she had to have like her eye stitched shut and a bunch of different things. It was very stressful, but she is pretty much all healed up. She's got a little scar across her eye, and you can very slightly see the graft if you look close enough, but she's completely fine in herself. She's absolutely amazing. Still the most loving, playful, sweetest being I've ever met. So fingers crossed she stays that way, because that was rough, and seeing her go through that was not fun in the slightest. So thank you so much for your very kind words, and for those that have asked for updates and those that have sent love and stuff like that. It means the world, because these guys are my babies, they're my kids, and I couldn't picture my life without them. So because of all that, I did have to take quite a lot of time off from the business, kind of. But once Cleo got the all clear from the vets and she'd been discharged completely and stuff, I was so ready to get back into the swing of things. I still had to be careful myself, just because I technically was still recovering from an injury, but I was so excited to get back into the studio. So next week, we will return back to the normal vlogs. And if I am correct, that will be my first vlog back after that time off that was completely unplanned and stuff. So there's a very quick update. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to answer the first part of Carrie's question. Sippy. So if you were starting your business from scratch, but with the knowledge you have, would you do anything differently? And then she said also, how are your stinker potatoes? In the most loving way, obviously. They are stinker potatoes, don't worry. What would I do differently? Probably should have planned my answers out prior, because I probably have a lot of different things that I could say, but off the top of my head, something that's coming to my brain is not to say yes to absolutely every opportunity, which is a funny one, because I'm so glad I've done loads of different opportunities and I've said yes to loads of different things, but I have burnt myself out. I've stretched myself too thin in so many different ways, because I knew it was going to be beneficial for the business, and a lot of those things were. But you have to remember, when you're running a small business, that the main component of that small business is you. And if you are taking on too much, you're going to start messing things up. You're going to get poorly. You're going to get run down. You're going to end up hating what you're doing. And I have been really thinking about that recently, on how I'm really bad for saying no. I don't want to let people down, and I end up doing things that aren't really beneficial to me, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it's quite a selfless thing to do. But sometimes you do need to be selfish, and you do need to think, is this actually going to benefit me and the business in the long run? So I probably wouldn't say yes to absolutely everything. I wouldn't do 9 million markets and all these different launches just because people want it and whatnot. But that's one of the things that's come into my mind straight away. I've got to trim some threads, because I've got some scrunchies here that need finishing off. So the next question, how are you doing your work-life balance? Also, what products would you like to add, if any? Honestly, my work-life balance, I don't do it. My work-life balance doesn't exist, and this is not something I would recommend. I overwork myself like there is no tomorrow, and it's for a number of reasons, because in this economy I have to, just to survive. Another reason is I really enjoy it. I love my small business and I love working on it, but I work probably 16-hour days every day, Monday to Sunday. Days off aren't a thing. I take days off from my employed job to spend more time on my self-employed small business job. That is what my holiday from that job is used for. So currently it's Bank Holiday Monday, and most people will probably be relaxing, chilling out, doing whatever. I'm working, and I'm going to be working all day. This to me is my chill time, because I'm sat down and I'm doing something I enjoy. So I unfortunately can't really answer that question, because I don't do it. I don't socialize. I don't really go anywhere. I don't really do anything. It's really hard to juggle it all. So I don't understand how I am supposed to fit a social life in there as well. I am trying to do that more this year. So following on from the previous question, I am trying to say no to some things a bit more, so I can say yes to other things like socializing, because I'm rubbish at doing that. So I do have like a couple of meetups and events that I'm going to really soon. Hello. And these events are small business related, but I'm going to be socializing, which is great. And I have been taking the time to actually try and socialize and make plans, which isn't something that comes as like second nature to me, because I like my home comforts. I like being at home with my cats and working on my small business and spending time with Alex. So I wouldn't necessarily say I am actually doing all that and I'm juggling the two. I just don't have a social life. That's probably the only way that I can do it, is just by not having one. Right, the next question, let me go on my little page. I've got a page where I occasionally save people's comments and questions and stuff. So when I've asked for questions in the past, if I don't always answer people's questions, I have like a little notes page of where I add them to, and I try my best to answer them in future videos. So the next one says, how do you deal with online hate, mean comments, etc.? Ooh, in quite a few ways, actually. No one wants to get mean comments. Nobody wants to deal with hate and stuff. And I am a very sensitive soul. We all know that. I cry a lot. I don't like confrontation or anything like that. But there is something about the online side of things that I think I've built up a bit of a tough skin against. I've been called every name under the sun. I've dealt with occasionally mean comments here and there. And I think I have basically deluded myself into dealing with that sort of thing. I'm very lucky, which really surprises me because I think I'm a really annoying person. So I'm quite lucky that I haven't actually received that much hate. Obviously, my channel isn't massive. It hasn't reached a huge range of people, but it's quite rare that I do get mean comments or nasty comments, but I still get the occasional one, and I have dealt with like other things online in the past. So I think if I was to give someone advice on how to deal with it, I'd say first of all, expect it. Expect the inevitable. It's going to happen. You could be the most beautiful person in the world. You're all beautiful. Don't ever question that. But you could be the most beautiful person in the world. Someone will still tell you that you're ugly. They will make it their life mission to let you know that they think you're ugly. You could create the most perfect masterpiece in the world and someone will still go out of their way to tell you that it's trash. You'd think we would have evolved to just be able to see something online that we don't like and just move on. But no, unfortunately, a lot of the human race are trash. People suck, people are mean, people don't have hobbies, people have too much time on their hands, and they have clearly got their own issues and they will go out of their way to leave mean comments. And I think if you expect it, I'm not saying sit there waiting for it to happen because that's not healthy, but I think if you have it in your mind that people are going to be cruel, people will probably leave mean comments at some point, people like that exist, it's not as much of a shock when it does happen. So that's the first thing I would say. People suck. People aren't that nice. You could save someone's life and someone would still be like, oh, they're clearly doing that for attention. Because that's just how the human race is. We suck. So know that it's not a problem with you, it's a problem with them, and the chances of it happening is quite high, because if you are going to post something online, you are kind of not asking for it. I'm not saying that no one deserves any hate comments, but you are opening up a platform for those people to go, oh, I'm going to enter into that and I'm going to ruin this person's day, because yeah, people suck. And the second thing is I laugh about it, because yeah, I find it quite funny. And like I said, I've like deluded myself and tricked myself into this mindset of where I'm actually the one benefiting from this person being angry and hating me. So if someone was to leave me a cruel, mean comment on YouTube or give the video a thumbs down, fun fact for those of you who do thumbs down my videos, it actually helps me out. YouTube doesn't differentiate between good comments and bad comments. It doesn't differentiate between a thumbs up and a thumbs down. All it sees that as is people actually interacting with the video. So sure, it will flag certain comments and it will hold them for review if it's got like questionable wording in there, but some of the things that get held for review are just random comments or questions that aren't negative or anything. All YouTube sees that as is interaction, and every bit of interaction helps people's channels out. So if someone was to leave me a really bad comment or a thumbs down, I'm like, thank you so much, because you are helping spread the word about my channel. You are helping the content get out there to more people. It's going to get shown to more people, and you're helping me pay my bills, because I am monetized on YouTube. So the more views I get, the more interaction I get, the more it helps my channel out. So I'm like, you want to hate me all you want, sound off in the comments, because you pay my bills. So I try and think about that sort of side of it. I think these people are clearly sad. Something's going on in their own life where they're miserable, so they have to push that onto other people. It's just a problem with them, not you. It's not always something that you're going to be doing. So I try and see the positives of certain things, if that makes sense. And I don't always interact with the hate, because I find that killing people with kindness works wonders, or just completely ignoring them. Because sometimes if you rise to it, you're giving them exactly what they want. They want an argument, which sometimes I will reply to certain comments because, again, the more comments, the better my videos do. So I benefit in that sense. But a lot of the times I will just completely ignore it. I'll read it, I'll laugh at it. I'll be like, what is this person on about? Is this person okay? Send it to Alex, we'll have a little giggle, because it's not going to change who I am. So we just have a quick giggle about it, a laugh about it, and then 9 times out of 10 I will just completely ignore it. Sometimes I will delete comments that I mean are nasty. It's not necessarily a way that I deal with them, it's a way that I deal with protecting other people, because you don't know who's going to see these comments, and all it takes is someone who could be really upset and triggered by a certain comment, and I don't want that. I don't want my subscribers and my viewers having to deal with certain things like that. So I will delete certain comments that I think will affect other people or that may be triggering for other people, but if it's usually just aimed at me or whatever, I'll just laugh at it. I'll be like, okay, thanks, have a great day. Kill with kindness because it annoys them more. Or I just completely ignore it. That's probably the best way that I would say I deal with it, and that's probably how I will continue to deal with it. Protect my viewers, subscribers and stuff from harmful comments. But for me personally, I laugh about it and I thank that person for paying my bills and helping push my videos out for other nice viewers out there. So I think this one was from a short while ago. It said, congratulations on 5k. Do you see your channel continuing to grow? Honestly, I hope so, but you never know with these things. Thank you so much, by the way, for congratulating me. Growth is so random and so difficult sometimes, but so easy for other people on social media. There's not necessarily a knack to it. I'd say I'm quite happy with the growth on my channel. It is hard to compare yourself to other people. You get imposter syndrome. So when you do see people who come to YouTube, do something similar to what you do, so for example, studio vlogs or whatever, and they've not been doing it that long, and straight away their channel gets thousands and thousands of that wasn't English, thousands and thousands of subscribers, thousands and thousands of views, it's hard to not be a bit deflated, feel a bit defeated and think, oh right, well clearly I'm not likable or my content's rubbish, like all these other people are doing great. But then at the same time, the growth that I have achieved, I am so grateful and happy for, and I'm like, yo, I built that just from being annoying and chatting away on YouTube and showing people fun things that I like to make and stuff and showing my cats and whatever. So I'm really happy with my growth and I do hope it continues to grow, but I don't know if it's going to continue to grow. You never know with these things. So we'll see. But either way, thank you so much for congratulating me on 5k. So I have had a couple of questions about products that I want to make in the future. And it's a surprise. I can't tell you too much because I don't want to give too much away. But in a nutshell, I obviously still want to make handmade items and hand sewn items and whatnot. And I would like to keep it niche down to the items I already make, so my scrunchies and stuff, because that is like the main part of my business and stuff. But something I really want to focus on in the near future and stuff, and I can say this because I've already posted about it on like social media and stuff, but no waste items. I'm an eco-friendly brand. It is something I care a lot about. I don't want to contribute to waste. I don't want to contribute to textile waste or anything like that. So I make no waste items. I thrift a lot of fabric. I upcycle a lot of things. So I would like to broaden that sort of collection and have a lot of fun items I can make from my scraps, because I keep every scrap. We're talking threads, we're talking fuzzies, we're talking little tiny bits, because it all gets used somehow, and hopefully I will use it more in the future, creating loads of fun products. So more no waste items, definitely. The rest you're just going to have to stay tuned for, and hopefully you guys will continue watching and seeing the different items that I make. So the next question was, how was first starting your business? I'm probably 3/4 of the way prepared to start, but I'm pretty terrified of the last stretch of actually doing it. Very English. Very broad question, I know, but a lot of people make it sound simple, and I don't know if I'm just in my head and overreacting about starting. So first of all, it isn't a simple process whatsoever. So I know a lot of people do make it seem more simple than it actually is. So you are right to think, am I overreacting? Chances are you probably are overthinking and overreacting a little bit, and that's completely normal. Making a small business, creating something like that, it is a huge step. It's something that's really big. It's something really exciting. So I would say overthinking it and overreacting to certain things is probably quite normal and probably quite important to your business as well, because you don't want to be just making something that's rushed and you're not going to be proud of. I love this scrunchie. This is a market exclusive, but how cute is it? But there are a lot of steps into creating a small business. There are always so many different things, so many different steps, but sometimes you do have to just start. And that is one of the hardest things, is starting. But I don't think you're necessarily doing it wrong, because from what I've just read, I'd say you're probably planning it out quite well. I think if you're going online, you're going to do a website or whatever. I think having your website ready to go, setting up your social media, sorting out your branding and all things like that, having your products then ready to go, apart from starting to share the items that you're going to be creating or making or whatever, and then setting an actual opening date, you're pretty much there. So all you can really do now is start. It's a learning curve. It's a long process. Things are going to go wrong. You are going to learn as you go, and you're not going to learn as you go. You're not going to figure out what's gone wrong, what's going to go wrong if you don't just start. And I think the more and more you overthink it and the more you put it off, the more you're going to regret that in the future. So sure, there was a lot of things that I probably should have done before starting my small business, 100%. But who am I to know that until I start? So if I was you, I'd think, right, this is done, this is done, this is done, this is done. What do I know that's a really big thing that I haven't done? And if you can't think of anything off the top of your head, it's probably not that important, and you can figure it out as you go. And just go easy on yourself. Know that mistakes are inevitable, they're probably going to happen, and that is fine. You are one person, you're trying your best, you're learning as you go, and just hold your head up high and know, if I make a mistake, I'll apologise, I'll learn from it, I'll move on. So my really useless advice is just do it. You're probably a lot more ready than you think, because there are so many small businesses that were created just on a whim that probably didn't have social media, probably didn't have a website set up, probably didn't even have the products made, and they could be thriving. They could be doing really, really well because they've just quickly learned as they've gone along and they've just gone for it. So not really useful advice, I know, I'm sorry, but you're probably ready, and this is your sign to just do it. Just set a date and go for it. And I do wish you all the luck with it, I really, really do. But I think I'm going to leave this video here because it's been a very chatty one. I'm sorry it's not like the usual vlogs and stuff, but I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update with where we're up to. So chronologically, in the vlogs, this is kind of like where I took some time off. And next week we will continue as normal for when I was like back in the studio and stuff, which was super exciting. So just wanted to give you guys an update, answer a couple of your questions. If you do have any other questions or anything you want me to answer, leave them in the comments. And if it's something that I want to answer, I will add it to like that little page, maybe answer it in a future video and stuff. But just to once again say a massive thank you for all of your support. I'm so blown away constantly. Yeah, I'm so grateful for all of you. I can't thank you enough for all of your support. So thanks for sticking around. If you're new here and you just decided to randomly watch this video, it's not always like this. There's always a lot of chatting. It's always chaotic, but there's a lot more making and doing and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for everything, guys. If you could give it a massive thumbs up or thumbs down, it don't really matter. I prefer thumbs up. It makes me feel better. Leave me a comment down below if you've got any questions, like I said, or if you want to leave some fun emojis or anything, leave it down below. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd really, really appreciate it. Have a nosy down in the description. Check out all the links if you want to support me in different ways. So you can head on over to my Buy Me a Coffee page if you want some more content. You can subscribe to join the Fauna family, which is just where you subscribe, pay a monthly fee, and you get behind the scenes content, posts and photos and different fun things like that. And it's just another fun way that you can support me. But apart from that, thank you so much again, and I'll catch you in the next one in the normal vlogs. Cleo's making a racket again, but I'm gonna go. Love you all. Bye.